I'm Vahid, Principal for Engineering at Elsven. I've been a software engineer since 2005. I'm passionate about process, standards, and best practices. As a Principal for Engineering, my job is to retain and grow our team of engineers and help define the company's tech strategy. Today's talk is called From Code to Command, Navigating the Management Ladder in Tech. We will cover what's like to enter the leadership role, high-level overview of types of responsibilities, and of course, the skills we may need along the way. So becoming a technical leader may not be on your mind, especially when you're still in the junior level in your career. But at some point, the opportunity will come and knock on your door out of nowhere. And you will find yourself not fully prepared. Many engineers avoid leadership opportunities in their career. This lack of interest is partly because of many assumptions we engineers have about leadership. Let's look at some of these assumptions. First one is preference for technical work. Shifting to leadership can reduce the amount of time you spend hands-on, which can be a major downside for many of you. The other one is the different skill sets. Leadership role demand a different set of skills that can push you out of your comfort zone. Shift in success metrics is another one. In leadership, the success criteria shifts from personal technical achievements to team performance and development. And of course, risk of losing technical edge. We all know in tech world, change happens so rapidly. Engineers in leadership might find it challenging to stay updated with the latest technology and coding practices because they're not really hands-on. But these are there are arguments and compromises for each of these. So let's see what we can get in return. Wider impact. As a leader, you can influence not just individual projects, but entire teams and processes. This can be incredibly satisfying for those who want to shape the bigger picture. You get diverse skill development. Management roles provide an opportunity to develop a wider range of skills beyond just technical ones. Skills like leadership, strategic planning, and team building are so valuable and satisfying to master. They also help you a lot further in your career. We also have team success. Instead of focusing solely on personal achievements, leadership lets you lead a whole team to success. This shift can be rewarding and in a different way, as it involves mentoring others and seeing them grow and successful. You also get broader technical knowledge. While it's true that managers might not code as much, they still have to keep their technical knowledge sharp, but this time across much wider spectrum. When you start your leadership career, things won't change overnight. You still will spend the majority of your time coding. However, this time you slowly start to take further responsibilities. I roughly categorize these new responsibilities in three groups. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, depending on your organization. These are team growth, team retention, and the third one is what I call orchestration. Team growth, as you might expect, is around hiring. For me, team growth is one of the most rewarding aspects of leadership. The people you bring into your team directly impact the day-to-day atmosphere of your work experience at work. This allows you to shape your team with people who not only have the right skill set, but fit well with the rest of the team and share the same values. At the beginning of your role in this area, you remain pretty technical. Senior colleagues may drag you in interviews to assess a candidate's technical skills. You get to learn how to interview people and eventually get good at it. As you gain experience, your involvement in hiring gets much wider. You may find yourself interviewing candidates specializing in a different tech stack, which of course will be an opportunity for you to expand your technical knowledge. As you're going up the ladder of the leadership ladder, your interaction with internal and external recruiters will increase. Your involvement is not limited to engineers anymore. You may interview for non-technicals. It also extends to finding, assessing, and collaborating with outsourcing partners. Potentially, you may find yourself negotiating with international providers. Team retention is another one. Imagine you've put your dream team together. Now, as a leader, you are responsible for retaining them. In the tech industry, particularly in London, job movement is so frequent. It's crucial to ensure your team members are content and motivated. Otherwise, they're just going to leave within a year. Understanding their daily mood and emotions is critical, as your job is maintaining a positive and productive work environment. Creating an environment that supports constant learning is very important. Track and support your team's learning goals and celebrate with them in their achievements. Work closely with HR to define and update technical leadership career path. You aim to provide your team with a clear roadmap of their professional journey. Beyond career progression and learning opportunities, several other factors contribute to job satisfaction. One essential aspect is conducting regular one-to-ones. These sessions let you to build a relationship with your team members, listen to what they have to say, and gauge their happiness. And finally, orchestration. Orchestration is about coordinating various tasks, people, and resources. It's about ensuring everyone works effectively and towards the same goal. People are correctly allocated and issues are swiftly addressed to maintain the smooth operation. In the initial stage of your leadership journey, orchestration tends to be more tactical. You will be deeply involved in managing tasks in much finer details of the project. This might include allocating specific tasks, resolving immediate technical challenges, or closely tracking project progress. You will start to see a work stream. A work stream is a cluster of tasks and activities to be completed by a team of assembled work groups. In the picture below, you can see that as an engineer, your visibility into work stream is initially limited. Often it starts with requirement coming via a product manager or a business analyst, and the work ends with the code being merged and shipped. Leadership expands this perspective for you, letting you to see the entire end-to-end process. So the illustration looks a bit funny here. It doesn't look on mine, so apologies for that. So what it looks like is a chain of different roles, as you see, client, stakeholder, PMs, design, devs, and they're all connected together, which chain a much longer work stream. As you gain experience in your approach, gets more strategic. You will shift focus from day-to-day task management to wider goals and long-term planning. That's when you start to see the value stream end-to-end. Roles and responsibilities that were hidden from you before suddenly become visible. Merging your code, even deploying, doesn't mean the end anymore. Your effort will focus on highlighting the actual value of work stream. It's not just about reducing workload. It now involves checking process of the entire organization, identifying bottlenecks, and find the right approach to address them. To manage this value stream effectively, you will need end-to-end visibility and control over the interconnected streams across the company. This is where sophisticated problem solving comes into play, including breaking down the operational silos and connecting various process and teams together, facilitating cross-team collaboration, and more. So we roughly discussed the nature of tasks and responsibilities at the high level. While your engineering background is a significant asset, it's just not enough to make you a successful leader. You will need to develop an additional set of skills, which some of them are people skills and some of them are personal. Communication obviously is the most important one. In leadership, more than ever, you will deal with people. Even having your technical skills as the foundation of your leadership won't do much if you're unable to communicate it to non-technical people. When you're just an engineer, communication is not backbone of your job. You mostly spend your time in isolation, deep working and coding. In contrast, other roles like product managers and designers have to negotiate, they have to report, and they have to manage stakeholders almost from day one of their career. In comparison, it's much harder for us engineers when it comes to preparing to adopt leadership roles. In addition, when you're an individual contributor, your engineering skills is so important that it can make up for lack of communication skills. People will listen to you regardless because you're expert in your field when it comes to coding. When you enter leadership, the expectations are much higher. When it comes to leadership, things are different. To illustrate the importance of communication, consider this. As an engineer, especially at the junior level, your primary mode of non-technical communication is upwards, essentially communicating with your manager. In leadership, you negotiate through 4 dimensions of communication. I can see that the illustration is not showing well here, but the picture on the right is a person with a laptop and 5 arrows in different directions. So you have to communicate with your superior upwards. You have to communicate down to people in your team. You have to communicate sideways, collaborating with peer in other departments. And you have to communicate out, engage with third-party organizations. Another skill that will save us as leaders is managing your time and priorities. As I said before, when you're an engineer, your day is structured around deep working with minimal meetings and email checkings. But in leadership, you will juggle many tasks and switch contexts frequently. This can't be done without effective time management. Amount of tasks you're responsible for is huge. If you just keep juggling and firefighting, you will never do any meaningful work. That's when managing your time becomes important. You have to manage your availability yourself. Otherwise, everyone will take it away from you. There are many tools to help you prioritize your task. The Eisenhower matrix is my favorite. I find it really useful in prioritizing tasks. It also helps you to identify what needs to be delegated. You do the important and urgent tasks first. You delegate less important but urgent tasks to other people. And you make time for things that are important but not urgent. And finally, if something is not important and not urgent, you simply drop it to make time for more important work. As your coding goes away, showcasing what you're working on may become challenging. You keep asking yourself, what have I actually done this week in leadership roles? You're so used to code as a solid result of your work and accomplishment that it takes time to actually recognize and identify other form of results when you're a leader. Making your success visible is crucial in a role that focuses not just execution, but also a strategy and team development. Ensuring your accomplishments are seen and recognized is critical for leadership. There are some ways to enhance your visibility. Regular updates. Keep stakeholders informed of the progress. Knowledge sharing. Engage in and contribute to discussions. Offer insight based on your expertise. And company-wide presentations. Use these platforms to highlight the achievement and a strategic direction. Finally, a crucial aspect of development your leadership skills is to observe and learn from your managers. Remember, both good and bad managers offer valuable lessons. Obviously, learning from effective managers. Pay close attention to what makes managers amazing in your eyes. What are their qualities that motivates you? I've gained significant insights from managers whom I've admired and respected. Interestingly, poor managers can be as instructive. You can learn a great deal by identifying and avoiding things you don't like about them. Observing their management style can help you understand what not to do and how not to behave as a leader. And finally, keep learning. There is a wealth of resources available online about technical leadership and management. One book I highly recommend is called The Manager's Path, a guide for tech leaders navigating growth and change. It offers loads of useful information. In summary, your leadership growth is not just about what you do, but also about what you observe and learn from others. Embrace every opportunity to learn from managers around you, as they can unknowingly provide lessons. Thank you, everyone.